Hello everyone. Today I am here with one more topic from subject called application development using Python. So in the last session we discussed various things about files, exception handling and assertion. So that completes third module. From now we are starting the fourth module. The fourth module will be based on classes and objects and methods. How to write class, how to create objects, how to make use of classes and how to create methods, how to call them. So we are going to discuss various things about classes and objects. So now we are in fourth module. So what is the need of class? What is the need of class? So again, class is a user defined data type. I can say a class is a blueprint where you can create your own blueprint to store some information or to store some data, correct? So we got to know various data structures in Python, let us say list, dictionary, tuples, strings, right? There are various data structures where we use those data structure to store the data, various kinds of data for various purpose. But what is the purpose of having class? So here you can create your own data type, okay, your own data type. So in easier way, without making very complex, you can store a data, your own data in your own format using a class, and a class is just a blueprint of any data type. So I can consider, let us say I want to store student information. Let us say if you want to store some 100 student names, so you can take if you want to think, if you think like a simple way, you can take 100 different variables, let us say student 1, student 2, student 3, like student 99, student 100. You can store those 100 names in 100 variables, but that is not the efficient way of programming. Okay, next level is let us say I will store in list. I will consider a list. I will store all the 100 names in a list. Even that is good. Or you can store in a tuple. That is good. Then let us say I want to store 100 names as well as 100 USNs and 100 phone numbers and 100 date of birth. Did you get? So I want to store, let us say, if it's a very simple way, if you want to store a student information like name, USN, mobile number, then what is their address and what is the date of birth, 5 fields. So you need to take 5 variables, right? You need to take 5 variables to store 5 student information, 5 variables to store one student information. Like that, if you want to store some 100 student information, if I go with this way of coding, so for 100 students, that is 5 into 100, you need 500 different variables to store all the 100 student details. Like it is name, you want to store name, you want to store USN, you want to store date of birth, you want to store address and you want to store mobile number, these 5 fields. So you can take a very simple way, you can take 5 variables, different variables to store a student information. But what if I want to store 100 student information, so you need to take 500 variables. That is not the best way. Second way, you can consider different list. You can take 5 different lists, right? So this is the list 1 where you store all 100 names. List 2 where you will store all the USNs, all the 100 people USN, all the 100 people's date of birth, all the 100 people address, all the 100 people mobile number. Or you can take in the same way, you can also take tuple, different tuple. This is the second way. First way is this, second way is this. Either consider list and tuples, different what? List. Or third way you can consider list of tuple. List of tuple means inside list there will be a tuple where you have 5 fields. Let us say name, USN, date of birth, address and mobile number. Like I will write in short form. So you are storing name, USN, date of birth, address, mobile number. Then put comma. You need one more what? One more student. Like this you can consider 100 student different tuples. That is list of tuples. Or you can take a list of list. So inside inside list there will be another list. You can consider even like that. Even that is you can consider, but it is a tedious job. It will not make your job simpler. It will make your job a very complex way. Let us say I want to know what is the mobile number of 55th student. Then it is very difficult to access, right? You need to go to 55th index, then you need to access. Or if you want to access a 90th student record, then you need to go to that particular record. Then what is the next index? It is 0, 1, 2, 3, like that. So even this is not correct. Another way, there is a fourth way. You can consider dictionary. You can consider a dictionary where you can store again a small dictionary saying that, let us say USN is a key, then other fields. You can consider USN as a key, then all other fields as a values. Or you can consider list also here. You can consider a list also, a list of values. Dictionary USN will be the key and values will be list of all other values. Let us say name, date of birth, address, mobile number are the values. Like this you can consider second USN, then what are the values. Either you can consider a sub list or you can consider like that. Okay. These are the various ways of storing the data, various ways you can store the data, but once you store the data, you should be able to access the data very fastly in very strategic way, or in a right way, or in an easy way. You should be able to retrieve back the data or store it back the data in easy way. So the best way is, our next level of understanding is, consider a class. Class is a user defined data structure. A class is a user defined data structure, and you can create any number of object of that particular class. Again, object is a instance of a class, or it is a one of the copy of a class. Class is just like a blueprint. So I can take one more example. Let us say you are developing a land, there are 100 plots, and you are constructing house, What you can do, you can are similar houses. Okay, what you can do, you can take a common template, you can consider a common template, common plan, so that every house is created in the with respect to the common plan. Correct. Here we call it as, that common plan is called as a class. The individual houses are called as objects. That is the one thing. Okay. Let us say I can give one more example. Let us say I will ask you people to write a letter to principal or HOD, and I will be giving a blueprint of a letter. What is the letter heading, whom you should address, what is the subject, what are the different fields you need to fill. So everything I will be providing. Let us say date I will provide, but I will leave empty. Place I will leave empty. Signature I will leave empty. From I will leave empty, but to which is fixed, it is to HOD. Subject which is fixed. Okay. And reasons, there will be different reasons for giving the letters to HOD or principal. Like, I will generate a blueprint, and you people can take Xerox of all that blueprint and you can fill your own data, right? You can fill your own data. In the same way, here I have so much of data. So instead of creating so many variables or so many lists or so many tuples or so many dictionaries or list of dictionaries, okay, multiple list. So instead of considering all these methods, you can consider what? You can create your own blueprint of data, and you can call that blueprint as a class. Let us say I will call that class as a student class. Okay, I will consider that class as a student. So class student, class student. So this class student will have various properties in the same name, USN, date of birth, address, mobile number. So these are the class members. These are the members of the class. These are the members. So you can consider these as a blueprint of this particular class. Once the blueprint is ready, you can create your own objects. Objects can be created, means you can take one copy of that blueprint and you can fill your own data. As I said, if you visit any government office, let us say you want to apply for some scholarship, okay, they will give you a fresh copy of a form which is empty, completely empty, but there will be a blueprint. There is a original copy of that particular form, correct? Then you will get a blueprint, you will fill all the data and you will submit back. In the same way, your friends, there are, if you have some 20 classmates, all the 20 people will submit the same form with their different data. So I can call these different people as objects. They are submitting their own data by filling their information. In the same way, if I create S1 as a student object, student 1 as an object, I will create his own data. S1 name is S1, USN is some 4MS so and so, date of birth. I will fill different data. In the same way, for if you create S2, he will be having different data. So you can create any number of objects. So I was giving some example. Let us say you are submitting the form, but when you go back next year, assume that the format of the form is changed, or they have added some more fields. Assume that initially they were not asking about your marks details. They were asking only your personal details and your family information. Okay, but now from now they are asking your education details also. Again, those old forms are not like, if they change that form, you need to get back again that form, and you need to Xerox it and you need to write those fields, extra fields, right? Means they can add extra sheet to it, right? They have already a form that is object, we have got that object, but if they need any new parameters to that particular class, any new features to that particular class, they can simply add them. They can attach new sheet to it asking your education details. You can fill all those details and you can resubmit back. In the same way, here I have 5 fields. I will create all the 100 students, 100 objects, S1 to S100, all the 100 objects are created. After that, after some time, some people will ask, I need aggregation also, or percentage of total percentage of student. Okay. In that time, I can add new member also without affecting other objects. Only the case is all the other objects need to update this particular member, because S1 will not be having percentage. So all the 1 to 100 variables need to update this percentage. Like this, you can add any number of members later in time without changing the program, or without changing the previously stored data. In the same way, you can apply so many functions or so many operations on the class members. Those are called as methods. Let us say I will have a method called show method, where I will print all the details, or I will have update. You want to update some mobile number, you can update here. If you want to update some address, you can update here. Or if you want to delete any student record, you can delete. Okay, like this, you can have many operations on the data. So those operations are called as methods of the class. They are the methods of the class. So this is an introduction to the class. So you can ask me, sir, what is object? How to write a class? See, you can take all the real world example to create a class and objects. Let us say I have a duster. I have a duster over here. I need to write a program on this duster. How do I write? Can we write program on this duster? Yes, of course you can write. Let us say just go to Flipkart and search for duster. You get so many varieties of duster, right? You may get a fiber duster, or you may get a wooden duster, correct? Or you can get a cloth duster. Their structure is different, their color is different, their material is different, the company who manufactured it is different, correct? Where it got manufactured, when it got manufactured, correct? Everything, like even a duster has got some information. A duster, simply a duster has got some information, but I want to store this information in a system or in a computer or using a Python program, then or any other programming language, then a class and object is the best way to store the data. So instead of storing in a list or dictionary or tuple or strings or let us say arrays, just consider a class, create a blueprint, store the data using objects. In the same way I was telling about duster. How do I store a duster information in a, like using a class? You can create class duster. There is a class called duster. It's a blueprint. What is blueprint? A general common features of any particular object or any particular thing is called as a blueprint, right? Where others can follow. So I can consider class blueprint. So what are the different object, what are the different members I can or features I can extract from a duster? You can say color. What is the color of this particular duster? Who is the manufacturer? What is the date of manufacturing? What is the price? Okay, what is the material type? So like this, so if you visit Flipkart or Amazon, everything, every item, every single item, a small item or a big item, every item has got so many features. All those features have stored just like a object or just like a class. Let us say TVs, there will be various TVs and each TV will have hundreds of features. All those hundreds of features are considered as members. There will be one class called TV. So they will create so many objects of same TV and they extract the data from the database, so and they display onto the web page. In the same way I can consider a duster information. What is the color of the duster? This color, this is made up of black color and white also I can consider. You can store different data here. Who is the manufacturer? What is the date of manufacture? What is the price of it? What is the material type? It is a fiber type, or else you can consider one more. There is a duster called duster with like wooden duster, right? Even this duster has got some manufacturer or manufacturing date if I have some label in it. Okay, like this you can write so many features of any object. So object is nothing but in real the thing which exists in the real world. I can consider even this chalk piece is a object, this blackboard is a object. Okay, let us say this ID card is a object. Let us say if I want to store different ID cards information, there will be many ID cards. Let us say I am an employee, I have different ID cards. Student will have different ID card. Housekeeper will have different ID card, different color, different size. Okay, different ID number, different information. Okay, in the same way, so we can consider, we can just look at our surrounding and we can think about objects, right? Let us say bulb, fan. I can consider fan as a one class. I can store a different fan information in it. I can consider a bulb. I can consider a bulb as a one class. I can store different bulb information in that particular class. So you can consider any real world object and you can just code it, or you can write a program or store the information of that particular object in it. Okay, next we will understand how to create a class in Python. The syntax is very simple. You need to write keyword class followed by class name. Let us consider my class name as point and followed by colon. So single point. I am writing this a program on a small point. You can ask me, sir, what program you can write on just a dot? Yes, of course you can. What is the information of this particular point? What is the basic information this basic information for this point? It is consisting of coordinate values. What is the x value? What is the y value? That can be stored in a class. Let us say if you have so many points on the screen, but you want to store all those point information, because later in time you want to connect these points, but you need to have these point information. Let us say P1, P2, P3, P4, P5, P6. There are 6 points. You want to store all those 6 points, and each point is consisting of x and y values. As I said, if you want to store in normal way, you need how many variables? Each point will take two values. You need to consider 2 into 6, 12 different variables. Otherwise you can consider 2 lists, one is x value, one is y value, or you can consider a list of tuple where you will store like first point, second point, third point, in the same way till 6th point. You can consider list of points. This is another way, right? So if you want to store this in the usage of class, you can simply take right, class point. Okay, initially inside the class you can create your own variables, or you can create methods or functions. We call it as methods, class methods. So you can write different variables or methods. As of now I don't have any extra variable. Okay, so for that, so what I will do, I will have some doc string. So like this, simply you cannot say class point and you cannot execute. Let us have some what Python interpreter terminal. You say class point and simply you cannot exit from here. So you need to, if your class is just empty class, then you need to have some doc class, doc string. So that is represented using 3 quotes. So it is a point class. So I will enclose with 3 quotes. So this is just like a comment in other program, like in other way of Python programming, but we are writing inside a class with indentation. We are leaving some indentation, then we are writing some doc string, document string. So like if you are working for a company in later in time, you will be asked to write so many comments. Later they will extract those comments to build the document for the project, right? So class point, then I have doc string, it is a point class, then you can exit from the code. So then it will go to, if you press enter, it will go to a next line. Now I have created a class called point class. Still now it does not have any members. It does not have any members. Simply I have created an empty class. Let us print of point. Now if I say print of point, so what is the output? I don't get this as output. So I get a message saying that it is a class. So what is the type of this particular point? Point is a class under a main function, which is main dot point. It is created as main dot point. So you will get this as the output. So point is the thing, but it is a class type. Like previously we used to say it is a string type, list type, dictionary type, tuple type. So in the same way, so it is called as a class type. Class type. If you try to print this answer. Okay. Next, So this is how we create a class, empty class. If you like, if this is optional, but when you want to create an empty class, it is mandatory. In Python, if you want to create an empty class without creating any variables, any methods, then you need to have at least this doc string. Then if you try to print name of the class, I want to just say print of point, then you will get some information saying that what is the type, it is a class type, and it is under main function, the name is point class. Next, how do we create attributes of point? As I said, it has got some attributes. I have got some attributes, student has got some attribute, this duster has got some attribute. In the same way, point has got two attributes, those are x and y. How to create? How to create means just say, so next console or terminal x dot, sorry, point dot x, point dot x. So you need to initialize it. You need to initial, because we know in Python there is no declaration part. We don't declare with data type. So whatever data you store, that is the data type of that particular variable. Point dot x, let us say I will consider 4. So then I say point dot y. Point dot y is 5. Point is a class. Under that I have a member called, attribute called x, which is equal to 4. The same way I have a point dot y, which is equal to 5. So there are two member functions now, means there is a class called point class, there is a x, there is a y, and the value is 4 and 5, right? But can I have x and y like this? Because I said class is a blueprint. In blueprint, so I cannot store directly the values, right? You have a blueprint. Let us say I was telling about form. Let us say I will generate new form, and I will write everything. I will give it to you. I will fill my name, my USN, my address, my mobile number. Then you need to take Xerox of that particular sheet. Is that correct? No, I should give you an empty sheet, right? So that you can fill later. In the same way, here we should not fill the details initially. We should not store the value of attributes initially. For that, we need to create an object first. First, we need to create the object, means I need to get Xerox of that particular sheet. When I am giving a sheet to you, a form, I will not fill all the details, and I will give you, like, I will not give you for the Xerox. I will give you empty sheet, then you will take a Xerox of that empty sheet, right? Means without filling any details. In the same way, so we should not perform this operation first. So what we should do? First we need to create object of a class. How to create object? It's very simple. Okay. First we need to create the object. The syntax for creating object is object name, let us say P1 equals class name followed by open bracket and close bracket. This is just nothing but it is a constructor. We are calling a default constructor. By default there will be a default constructor. So we have object name is equal to point. Okay. Now if you try to print P1, now if you print P1, print of P1, again you will get, like, instead of class you will get object. You will get like it's a object, whereas point is a class, where P1 is a object. Getting? Understood? Now we can store the values of the attributes. So here we used to store directly, but this is not the case. We cannot store the values directly. As I said, a class is just like a blueprint. We cannot store values directly to a attributes. We need to access all the data with objects. As I said, student class, you cannot simply store a student values in it. So you need to create different objects of students, then you need to consider individual object at a time, then you need to store the values. In the same way, I have created empty class. then I have created object of that particular class, then p1 dot x, then p1 dot x is equal to 4, p1 dot y is equal to 5. Like this you can store the values. Now if you want to print, you can print of what? Let us say p1 dot x comma p1 dot y. So both the values gets printed. Okay. So we are creating empty class, trying to print what is this particular class is. Then we are creating what? Point object, trying to print the object information. You don't get like if you say p1, you don't get xy values, you will get only what it is an object. Then you will have p1 dot x, you are initializing with 4, p1 dot y you are initializing with 5, then try to print x value. Okay, next same program I will continue. Now we have created a point class, and we have created one object of point and we have stored the values. Now I am continuing with the same program. Now I need what? I need a rectangular class, means I want to store a rectangular information. Rectangle will have, there will be different varieties of rectangle. Let us say this is the one of the rectangle, or you can have this way of rectangle, or you can have very small one, or a horizontal rectangle, right? Or you can have a very big rectangle, or you can have a very small vertical rectangle. There will be different types of rectangle, but you need to store all these information. So what are the attributes of any rectangle? So I can consider what is the width, what is the height, what is the width, width into height. What is the, again with rectangular object, what operation I can perform? I can perform what is the what do we call for that? Area of the rectangle. Area of the rectangle is width into height. Width into height is the area of a rectangle. In the same way, I have width, very small width but very large height, equal width, equal height, or very large width, small height, very small width, large height, like this, right? Also, I have one more information. To create any rectangle, I need one more information called corner information. If I have corner, then I can create a rectangle. Assume that as we said, corner is nothing but it's a point actually. Already we have created in using previous class in the sense just Python class, not regular class. Using Python class in the just before 2 minutes, we created a point class which has two members called x and y, right? So what is the x value? X value is 4, y value is 5, 4 comma 5, which are x and y. So this is the point, that is where we need to create a rectangle. To create rectangle, again we need width and height. Assume that width is 10, so 10 means some 4 to 10 it becomes 14, so we have 10. So height is 5, assume that 5, so another 5. So from point number 5 I am drawing a distance of 5, then again another 10, another 5. So we have a rectangle. Means the minimum information to create rectangle are information required to create rectangle are a width information, height information, and where we need to start the rectangle. Let us say you have a graph sheet, you cannot simply draw a rectangle anywhere. So you need to have what? Some height and width and also corner information. This corner information is nothing but just a point information which is already created. So point information, in the same way all the rectangle will have different corners, different width, different height. Now you can create any number of rectangles. Let us say I will call R1, R2, R3, this is R4, R5, R6, are 7. There are 7 rectangles. Now can you store all the 7 rectangle information in the class using class? Yes, of course. Just you need to create a blueprint of it. How to create blueprint? So first you need to write class rectangle, then colon, then you need to have a doc string. You can also have empty doc string also. Okay, if you want you can write a rect. You can have empty doc string also, but I will write simply some work characters rect. Once it is done, what is the next step? You need to create a rectangular object. Directly you cannot store width and height information, so you need to create rectangular object. So let us consider R1 is equal to rectangle. R1 is equal to rectangle. So this is how you create a rectangular object. Now I need to store the values. So what are the values? R1 dot width. What is the width? Width I have given as 10. This is the first attribute. What is the second attribute? R1 dot height, which is 5. So 2 attributes are over. Then what about another attribute? What is the other attribute? Other attribute is point. Point is a other attribute which is already created. We have created already P1 object is already done. P1 object is consisting of x value, y value, where x is 4, y is 5. So we already created this particular point object using another class. Right. Now we are merging 2 objects. There is a rectangular object, or else you can consider even that. You can consider in the same class only. Instead of considering different class, you can consider in the same class only. You can simply write R1 dot x, R1 dot y. You can have 2 more attributes called x and y. But instead of that, instead of having 2 attributes, I am considering as a different attribute called point attribute. For that you can say what? R1 dot P1. So for that, if you want to create, you can create one more. Already we have what? I am rewriting it. P1 is equal to point. P1 is equal to point. Right. Then I can write R1 dot P1 dot x is equal to 4. R1 dot P1 dot y is equal to 5. Okay, I have created one more point variable called P1. P1 is equal to point variable. So instead of taking P1, because P1 we have already created it, so let us take, because I call these points as a corner, I will consider as a corner. Corner is of type. Corner is of type. Here R1 is of type what? R1 is not an integer, R1 is not a float, R1 is not a list or tuple. R1 is of type rectangle, right? The same way corner is of type what? Means, I mean to say, what information you are storing in corner. You are storing a point information. So I can take this corner as a point object. This corner as a point object. Later you can say inside R1 dot corner dot x is equal to 4. R1 dot corner dot y is equal to 5. So this is how we store a rectangle. Now I have a rectangle with 10, 9, 5, that is width and height. Then I have a corner information which is x comma y, which belongs to a point class. So this is how we make use of class to store a rectangular information. The same way you can create other rectangular information also. You can consider R2 rectangle, R2 dot width, R2 dot height, and again the corner is different obviously. You can consider this as a corner 1. In the same way, you can consider corner 1 dot x, corner 1 dot y. Okay, here is a small mistake. So, when I say corner is equal to point, it becomes a corner object, but I need that corner object to be placed in a box class. When I say corner dot point, which is fine, which belongs to a point class, and when I try to say r1 dot corner, which is not correct, r1 dot corner, which is not correct, because corner is of type point. You cannot access corner object, that is point object, using a rectangular object. So, for that what you should do, we have missed one thing. So, we need to write r1 dot corner is equal to r1 dot corner is equal to point, means I am creating a one more attribute of r1, which is corner, which is of type point. Understood? So, I am creating attribute of rectangular called width, height, as well as I am creating one more attribute of rectangular called corner, which is of type what? Point. Here I have created a width object, width attribute r1 dot width, r1 dot height. In the same way, I am creating the corner information or corner attribute of rectangle as r1 dot corner. So, a corner you cannot have only one value. You cannot say r1 dot corner is equal to 5. No, it is not possible, or 4 comma 5, it is not possible. So, for that I am making this corner as a object of point, then using r1 dot corner 1 dot x, I am saying 4 and 5. Okay. Try to execute this program. Thank you.